All right, guys, we have with us a good friend of the podcast, Ian McCaw, Director of Athletics at Liberty University. Ian, good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Chad, doing great. Good to see you this morning.
So, just yesterday, we're recording this, I believe, today is Tuesday, I believe. And so last night or yesterday, there was some new, kind of shifting with conference realignment. So the first question is basically, how have realignment talks gone for LU so far? You know, how have they gone? Just any type of realignment discussion you've had.
Well, this has been going on now for several months. I guess it really was triggered with Texas and Oklahoma leaving the Big 12 for the SEC. And so there's been a lot of conversations going on. And we've certainly tried to be active in terms of exploring options that we think would be best for Liberty long term, and that could be join a conference, and it could be remaining independent football and continuing to play in the ASUN. So our responsibility is to do what's best to serve Liberty and look ahead to the future and determine what we think is best. And so we're trying to put ourselves in position to provide the best future possible for our athletic program.
So we keep hearing that ODU and Liberty are linked just through, different people that cover ODU and message boards and all the chatter per se. And, you really, who knows if you could trust the chatter, but is that something that you're hearing and being talked about as LU and ODU, along with a couple other schools I've heard that have basically been linked for a regional based conference, wherever ODU goes, Liberty goes type thing. Is that something you've heard, or is that something that's still being talked
Well,
about?
I did share some comments with John not too long ago that I think a regional Mid-Atlantic FBS conference would make a great deal of sense for many schools. And we've got a concentration of some really good FBS programs in this part of the country. And if something like that could be achieved, it would make a great deal of sense. Certainly as it relates to ODU, we have a great relationship with them and enjoy a rivalry. We play them regularly in not just football, but a lot of our sports, and we'd certainly like to strengthen that if that's possible.
So we talked with Brett McMurphy a couple of weeks ago, and he told us that conferences, that one of their biggest hesitations about Liberty could be the basically the booming success we've had recently and how quick it was, and the success being sustainable post the current era with all the coaches we have, and could that success be sustainable? And my answer to him was, "In Ian we trust." How do you answer those concerns?
Yeah, Chad, if you look at our facilities and our resource commitment and the trajectory of success this program's on, certainly all indications are this is going to be sustainable for the long term. That doesn't mean, if you looked over 20 years, there wouldn't be some peaks and some valleys in there, but certainly with the investment that Liberty has made and continues to make, I expect this is going to be a program to be contend with for many years.
Yeah, so I guess feels like we've grown. Something that I've heard is in my current job is that basically change. Um, the slower the change and the more steady the change, the longer impacting it is. And I guess I'm wondering if we have gone from 0 to 100 so quick. Is that type of growth with our facilities and success we've been having and just program prestige, is that type of growth viewed as a negative maybe amongst, like Brett was saying with our conference peers, but just in general, not just realignment, but just in general for our athletics program? How is that growth so quickly a bad thing? I don't think you're going to say yes, but I just have to ask it because it's just kind of one of those things you hear in life is slow, steady wins the race. And it feels like we haven't been slow and steady here.
Well, if you're looking for a program to be unsuccessful, don't call us. That's not the direction we're heading. We'd be the wrong school to contact. If you're looking for a program with upward mobility and a commitment and resources and a strong trajectory, that spells Liberty. So I think that we're going to be in a position that if you want to be competitive, we would be certainly a program to closely evaluate.
So I'm trying to keep up with our current bowl tie-in with ESPN, and I believe that this year it started where we had six maybe bowls that we were tied in with, and they were trying to add some more. did it start this year? I know that I've seen something on it, but when I was thinking of questions, I kind of wanted just to recap and see where we currently were with our bow tie-in with ESPN.
Yeah, so our contracts with ESPN events, and they're a part of ESPN, and they own and operate 8 different bowl games. And so our agreement is that when we're bowl eligible, they'll place us in one of those games. So, we still have work to do to become bowl eligible, but if we're able to accomplish that, we would look to be in one of those contests this year.
So, looking at our football schedule, we have some exciting home games remaining, and the question is kind of looming. We have at least one game this year that will be flexed into one of ESPN's. I forget the title of but one of their main channels here. So, what is the protocol if they were to flex that into a weeknight game? How long in advance would they give you, and how far in advance would something like that be determined? Is it like the week of the game, a couple weeks before? What is the protocol for if you were to flex one of those Louisiana Army game or any of the others? If you were to flex those to a midweek game, what is the protocol and timing with something like that?
Yeah, if ESPN wants to do that, they would need to get permission from both schools. And typically, it's not done on short notice. Generally, it's done in June, before the season starts. So it's rare, but certainly if they felt there was a really compelling game and they had a window available, that's something that could be explored, but they would need both schools to agree to it. And typically, they'll give you as much lead time as possible if that's something they're thinking of.
Awesome. So let's switch over to the Liberty Arena. After a test run last year with limited capacity, just how excited are you to have that place rocking? I know that for me, looking at, the experiences this year with the teams and everything, right on the top of my list was being in a packed Liberty Arena and kind of cheering on this team. But how excited are you and your staff to kind of show this place off and see what, all the design basically was made to make that place a loud, hard place to play with everything being so close to the court and the way everything's set up. I'm looking forward to that. How are you and your staff anticipating? And are you anxious at all? Are you ready to go on it?
Yeah, we can't wait for opening night with with a full capacity, and I think that the students are excited and our fans are excited, and should be a very energetic environment and a great atmosphere. And this is what we've been waiting for a couple of years now. And last year was just limited based on the restriction of capacity. So we're ready to pack it out and have a really special environment.
You mentioned the students are excited. How are those student tickets working? Is there a lottery system? Or is it just kind of first come, first serve, wait at the door? I have a feeling, when you look at the crowd, I mean, and you guys have seen this, when you look at the crowd on a typical, a packed basketball game in the Vines, it was made up of a huge section of students, and it doesn't look like that they might not all make it into a game this year. So how are you handling that, and what is the process for students getting their tickets to games this year?
Yeah, so Chad, right now it's first come, first serve. That's where we're going to start things off, and if demand dictates, we could end up obviously transitioning to more of a lottery system. But we're going to initially see how that goes, and we do provide priority for the student Flames Club. So anyway, it'll be exciting to see, and it'll be a learning process for everyone. This is a new facility and a new endeavor, and we'll see how things go.
So we kind of talked about football a little bit and conferences a little bit and then basketball a little bit. I'm wondering how that all ties together with conference realignment. And we've talked a lot about this before, but football success driving the success of the rest of your athletics program. Um, but is conference realignment most of the time decided based upon how it impacts football? I know your job is to make sure that all of Liberty's sports are kind of in the right conference. But when these conference, not from our perspective, but from their perspective, potential conferences, are they looking at the impact football will make, and that's pretty much it, or are they kind of analyzing the whole thing?
Yeah, football does drive conference realignment. There's no question because it's such a big part of revenue and television coverage. So, and when football wins, all boats rise. So that does pay off and help all of our programs as they try to recruit student athletes. So the exposure of football is really significant in that regard.
All right, so last one. What's the most exciting slash encouraging thing you've seen in the athletic season so far?
Yeah, there've been a lot of positives to point towards. A couple things maybe under the radar for some fans would be our field hockey team's having a tremendous year. They're 12-2, have won 9 in a row, and are ranked number 9 in the country. So they're doing extremely well. And our women's cross country team had a really good meet over the weekend at pre-nationals, and I expect that they may be ranked for the first time ever today when the rankings come out. So those are a couple under the radar things that some of our fans may not know about. But yeah, the year's off to a really good start, and we're excited to see where it goes.
Awesome. Ian, always appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And we will catch you down the road. Go Flames.